What's up, YouTube? Not so Team Fertile back today, just talking about some new cards that got leaked a couple days ago. August 5th. So today's what, the 8th? Today's the 6th. Yesterday. Wow, they got leaked yesterday. I kind of got off work a little early today. I'm not gonna go into it. So I figured I might as well just talk about these new cards that came out, give my opinions on it. I've already kind of skimmed through them a bit, so I'm not gonna be, oh my gosh, this card's amazing. Anyway, let's get into it. The first new card, the card that interested me just like from reading the text, like the Japanese text, was this one, Vader Infinite Disturb something, whatever. Vader Infinite. It's a new Infinite card. So it's grade 3. Its Vanguard skills. On break 4, when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, you up to one of your rear guards. One of your rear guards, Vader Infinite Zero Dragons. Bind it face up. Then ride that card at stand. Okay. And if you ride, choose your opponent's front row and back row units each and lock them. So it's kind of a pseudo restander. It's not very good though, honestly. So the big issue is it has to hit. I mean, I guess you can search out like Break Enabler, but you actually have to have a lock card for that to work. And generally in Infinite decks, if you're gonna lock a card, you're gonna lock it from your break rides and your stride skill. By which point it's already like you're not gonna have this card on Vanguard Circle, so it's not particularly good. And that's not a particularly great Vanguard skill. Second skill on Rear Guard Circle, which is nice. Counter boss 2, choose a card from your hand and discard it. When it hits a Vanguard, if you have a Vader Infinite Zero Dragon in your Vanguard Circle, you can bind it and then ride it at stand, so you can like break ride. So it's interesting. I don't think it's gonna be very good though. It's not gonna be very good in my opinion. Next up, we have a new Royal Paladin, Knight of Mastery, Grinnis. He's grade 3. So he has 2 skills on Vanguard or Rear Guard Circle. Gem break 1. When it attacks a Vanguard, it gets 4k power, so it's a 15k attacker. Or no, it's a 14k attacker. My bad. That's not particularly that good. However, its second skill is actually interesting. In the deck, when you're at Brave, you have it's a grade 2, which is interesting. I mean, it's not terrible, but they're just better. The issue with this card is they're just better grade 3s you'd wanna get. Then we have Accomplished Knight, Full Genius. Vanguard skill, Brave, Gem break 1. When it attacks a Vanguard during the battle, for each of your grade 2 rear guards, it gets an extra 5,000 power, which is alright. I mean, it gets an extra 10k essentially, so that's not too bad. And then it's auto skill. Choose a card from here and discard it. When it's placed on Vanguard Circle, you pay the cost. If you pay it, choose up to one grade 2 card from your deck, call it to Vanguard Circle, shuffle the deck, and if that unit has the Brave ability, when that turn ends, you can return that unit to the hand. So this unit's actually pretty interesting because what you can do with it is you can ride it, discard a card, call Hope Song Angel. No, you can't. Never mind. I thought so you can call Hope Song Angel, but that doesn't work. If there was a Brave unit that had the Hope Song Angel effect, you could definitely do things, but this unit's okay, I guess. I mean, you get a free card and the card just comes back to your hand. Although Brave as a mechanic just isn't very good. With the Nectar cards, some more interesting stuff. Sunflower, Maiden, Lonnie. So it's a Bloom card, grade 2, 9k, all that shebang. Gem break 1. When another of your units, one of your other Sunflower, Maiden, Lonnie units appears in Rear Guard Circle, so it's 5 copies of it, or Summer Heat, Flower, Maiden, Marjuka. And in that turn, they get, for each of your units with the Bloom ability, they get 1,000 power, which is kind of okay. And in the deck, and on Rear Guard Circle, it also gets counted as Marjuka, so it's okay. Then we have actually here we'll talk about Marjuka first. Marjuka's a grade 3. So it's grade 3. Although this card is actually low key kind of amazing. Like, oh my gosh. So honestly, I would say it's better than the other Ines, I think the name is. On ride, counterblast, soul blast, get a blow boom. This card's actually kind of better. Drawback 1, Soul Blast 1. One of your cards with the Bloom ability is chosen by your opponent's card effect. You pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. So, it kind of... It's Neona, it's like a way for Bloom to sort of respond to things like Kagero and like basically people targeting their cards. Like you can just, draw a card. I mean, and generally too, the good thing about this is if they're gonna do that, they're gonna do that on their turn. So you can so the fact that like you don't have this ability during your turn doesn't even matter. I mean, yeah, you can get now Griffin still, but even then, that's still pretty nice. And then its other ability, Bloom. Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, whenever the copy of itself is placed on Rearguard Circle, choose up to one of your units beside the actual copy, besides the actual card, and then it gets plus 3,000 power. And if the unit you chose is Lonnie, it gets the skill of when it hits a Vanguard, you draw a card and you soul charge. So you can also fuel this card's ability. There are definitely many things you can do with this. I can't wait to see actually how Neona is going to develop with this. I kind of played on the side a little bit, but I mean, definitely, it's definitely worth trying out. Then we have a Goya in Champloo, like a samurai, samurai Champloo, like that. So Bloom, Rearguard Circle, Break 1, retire it. When another unit with the same name as this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle, pay the cost, you show up to 4 Rearguards with the same name, and that turn they get 4,000 power. So it's pretty bad. You're never gonna run that unit ever. We have a new Grambly unit, Hollow. So it's you can call Ichigo Kurosaki to kill it, slay it. Jailbreak 1, when it's placed on Rearguard Circle from your drop zone, during the turn it gets 3,000 power and it gets a skill. When its attack hits a Vanguard, countercharge 1, soul charge 1, and then it's hollowed, it gets an extra 3k power on top of 3k power it already got. But this unit also is not good because for soul they have their crit trigger Banshee. And for countercharging, you have Grenache. And, it's kind of niche. And yeah, it's 15, but you have... What's his face? You have a 16k attacker in Granblue that's hollow. So, why would you run a 15k? There's no need for it. Then we have Skeleton Shock Troops. Grade 1, continuous, on your guard circle. If it's hollowed, it gets an ability. When it's placed in the drop zone from the Rearguard Circle, you bind it. In the bind zone, you can call it to a Guardian Circle. It's not that good. You're never going to use this one ever. We have another infinite card. Star Vader, Griminid something dragon. You guys can read the name. I'm probably going to butcher it. So, 2 skills, continuous on the Rearguard Circle. You have an infinite Vanguard. If your opponent's locked unit in the same column as this unit, it gets 2,000 power. So, it's kinda like 11k attacker, but not really. And then it has another skill of Counterboss 1. When your grade 3 infinite unit is placed on your Vanguard Circle, you pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's Rearguards in the back row and lock it, which isn't that great in my opinion because when you lock units, you essentially want a triangle lock. You want to have the 2 front rows locked and the Vanguard booster locked. But when you break right infinite 0, you're locking the Vanguard booster usually and something else. So I mean, you can lock the booster of the unit of the front row that isn't locked, but for the most part, you might as well just call Photon and But I mean, it's okay. And we have Star Vader, Heliops Dragon. So you it's done. Break 1. Once per turn on your guard circle, Soul Boss 1. They're not sure about the Soul Boss 1. You have a Star Vader Vanguard. Choose up 20 opponent's back row unit. Lock the cards, and you will Mega Lock it. And also, if you choose one during that turn, this unit gets 3,000 power. And when that turn ends, this unit is placed into the Soul. So it's pretty cool. I mean, you can Omega Lock back rows. You can Omega Lock the Vanguard booster forever. Definitely this unit might be worth trying out in Chaos Breaker actually, because it also turns itself into a 10k booster, which is it's kind of 10k boosters aren't that great anymore, but it's nice to have. I mean, you can have your 21k Iron column, your 36k Vanguard column, so it has and it just puts itself back in the Soul. So the Soul Blast 1 cost is kind of, if it's Soul Blast 1, that cost is kind of irrelevant. I mean, it's pretty good. I actually might take Palladium out for it. Although Palladium can Omega Lock not Omega Lock, but Maiden can lock, relock front row, so there's that. Then we have Knight of Automite Legend, which is a grade 2 gold paladin, who is a 12k attacker if you have a grade 4 or higher Vanguard, but it has Unite, is restriction, and it has resist, so it's not that good. You're never going to run this card. Then we have this card. This is an interesting card. Knight of Daybreak Holsa. So auto Daybreak 1 Unite. When another unit is placed on rear guard circle, choose this unit and other units in the same column as this unit, and during that turn, this unit and that unit both get 2,000 power. So it's essentially a Unite Pierre, but for any gold paladin. This unit is really interesting, because on one hand, Unite also kind of restricts it in a way too, because you only can but even then, you can definitely do things with this unit. I mean, if you have an empty field and then you call this and then you call something else, you still get an extra 12k power on that line, which is pretty nice. So you can definitely do things, and you can there are certain gold paladins a lot of people like to run that their effects are good, but they're just the Unite put in soul unflip, they have good effects, but they're just 8k, which makes it kind of bad, but you can kind of correct that with this. So this unit definitely will be seeing play in every gold paladin deck that is not Liberators. Then we also have Ice Crest Goddess Sava, Revelation, which is, I honestly don't recall what the revelation, what the restriction for that is. I think it's you put some, it's when you, no, that's darkness. You put Living Soul, but don't quote me on that one. Anyway, its skill is Vanguard Rear Circle, once per turn, Jailbreak 1, Soul Blast 3 normal units, so you can't Soul Blast triggers. During that turn, this unit gets plus 5,000 power, and if this unit's on your Vanguard Circle, you can draw a card, so it's okay. I mean, there are better things you can probably run. Then we have their PG, or no, not a PG, this is another Quintet Wall, because Bushiroad just doesn't get that. Quintet Walls will never be good unless you're Blade Wings. So when it's placed on Guardian, but this one's kind of different. When it's placed on Guardian Circle from your hand during when your Vanguard's attacked, choose any number of cards in your soul, put them in your drop zone. Then the amount of cards you put from your soul to your drop zone, you call that many cards from the top of your deck. It's meh. It's a Quintet Wall. Why would you Quintet Wall? Use a perfect card. Then we have Battle Maiden Katona. Rear guard circle. When a card's put in your soul, it gets 1,000 power, and it's almost turn, so you can stack this. Then if the cards were placed in the soul through the Revelation ability, this unit gets 1,000 power. So you can get some high power with this card. So it's actually pretty good, and it's not Jailbreak restricted, so you can splash this in most Genesis decks. Then we have this is new. I've not seen this card before actually. New Pale Magia, Praise Evil Tamer Muriel. Counterblast 1, once this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, you can pay the cost if you do choose one grade 1 or lower card from your soul with the Magia ability. Call it to Rear Guard Circle, and when the turn ends, put it back in soul. That's okay. Genbreak 1, when it's placed on Rear Guard Circle from the soul during that turn, this unit gets plus 2,000 power, and if it's placed from a Magia ability, it gets an extra 2,000 power, so it's a 15k. That's okay. Then we have Red Star Dual Horn. When it's placed on Rear Guard Circle from the soul, it's an 11k attacker, which is okay. And then its Magia skill is Genbreak 1, Soul Blast 1. When it's placed on Rear Guard Circle from the soul, do the effective Magia ability. You pay the cost. If you do, you choose one card from your soul, call the same call as this unit, and when that turn ends, the unit called goes back in the soul. So it's okay. I mean, it's like no, I'm not gonna make that comparison because that's not true. Then we have Novelty Introductor. Another Magia ability, Rear Guard Circle, placed in the soul. When your main phase begins, you may pay the cost. If you choose one grade 2 or higher unit from your soul, call it to Rear Guard Circle. When the turn ends, put it back in the soul. But you're going -1, so this card's actually not that good. Then we have Defender, put in soul, trigger, no comments needed. I mean, it is. There's so many other versions of it. And then we have the Night Reservation. Once again, it's irrelevant. It's not really. There's not really much to comment on it. And I think I could have sworn there was more. There was one more unit, but whatever. I'll talk about the unit another time. And then we get the Grand Blue God package, whatever they call it, which is, I mean, it's the same as the other God packs. The Stride, the Trigger, the Base, and all that stuff. But yeah, that's all the new cards. The new extra stuff looks interesting, and that's really the Genesis stuff kind of looks interesting. But we'll see what else they decide to do. In case you wanted to know, because this site probably isn't that big yet. It might be this is just like YGO organization, but for Vanguard. So yeah. Anyway, those are my thoughts on all those new cards and all. Feel free to leave any comments or anything down below with your opinions. This has been Nasu/QBF Team Fairy Tale, signing out.